Alan Turing was born in London in the year 1912. He was not like other children from the very beginning. He showed signs of mind that was different. While other children played games, he loved numbers, puzzles, and patterns. He could look at something and see an order inside it that others could not. When he went to school, his teachers noticed that he was strange to them. Sometimes he did not listen. Sometimes he would focus so deeply on a single problem that he forgot everything around him. But this was not laziness, it was brilliance. As he grew older, his talent with mathematics grew stronger. He studied at Cambridge University, where he became known for his unique way of thinking. He did not simply solve problems. He tried to understand the very nature of how problems could be solved. He asked questions like, what does it mean for a machine to think? What is the limit of human reasoning? Can a process be copied by something not human? These questions were strange at the time, but they would later shape the foundation of what we now call computer science. When the Second World War began, Alan Turing was invited to join a secret team at a place called Bletchley Park. This was the headquarters of codebreakers in Britain. The enemy was using a machine called Enigma to send secret messages. The Enigma code was thought to be unbreakable. Every day, the code changed into new patterns with thousands of possibilities. Armies depended on it, and whoever broke it would hold the key to victory. Alan worked day and night on this task. He designed a machine which could test thousands of possible codes quickly, far faster than any human. This machine was called the bomb, and it was the ancestor of the modern computer. It was not perfect, but it was powerful. With this invention, Alan and his team were able to read enemy messages about troop movements, submarines, and planned attacks. The secret work at Bletchley Park was never known to the public during the war, but historians later said that Turing's work shortened the war by at least 2 years and saved millions of lives. Without him, the war could have dragged on in darkness. Yet while the world was safe because of his mind, Alan himself was never safe inside his heart. He carried a truth that filled him with fear. He was a man who loved other men. But in Britain at that time, it was illegal to be gay. It was seen not just as shameful, but as a crime punishable by prison or worse. So Alan lived quietly. He hid this side of himself. He focused on his work and avoided conversations that could reveal too much. Imagine the pain of being a hero and yet knowing that the very society you were saving would not accept who you truly were. After the war ended, Alan returned to his academic life. He continued exploring the idea of artificial intelligence. He wrote about the question, can machines think? He described what later became known as the Turing test, a way of measuring whether a machine could imitate human thinking. His writings are still studied today. He also worked on biology, creating mathematical models to explain patterns in nature, like the stripes on a zebra or the spots on a leopard. But while he dreamed about the future, he could not escape the cruelty of his own present. In 1952, his private truth was discovered. He had reported a burglary at his house, and during the investigation, the police learned about his relationship with another man. Instead of protecting him, the law turned against him. He was charged with indecency for simply being who he was. Imagine the cruel irony. The man who had saved his nation during the darkest war was now being treated as a criminal, not because of anything violent or harmful, but because of his love. He was given a choice: prison or what they called treatment. The treatment was chemical castration, a series of injections that changed his body and damaged his mind. Alan agreed to it because he could not bear the thought of prison, but the side effects were terrible. His body grew weak, his moods collapsed, and the sharpness of his brilliant mind began to fade. He tried to continue his research, but the weight of humiliation and the destruction of his health was too much. 2 years later, in 1954, Alan Turing was found dead in his home. Beside his bed was a half-eaten apple. It was said that the apple had been laced with poison, though to this day some people believe it was an accident. What remained clear was that his life ended far too soon. At the age of only 41, the world lost a man who had already given so much and who still had so much more to give. For many years, his story was hidden. The work at Bletchley Park was kept secret by the government. People did not know how much he had done for the war effort. His conviction as a criminal remained on record, and his death was spoken about in whispers. His truth was buried along with him. Decades later, however, the world began to understand his contribution. Historians revealed the scale of his code-breaking achievement. Scientists recognized him as the father of computer science. Human rights advocates spoke of the injustice he suffered. Slowly, his name rose again, and his truth finally came to light. In 2009, the British government gave an official apology in 2013. He was given a royal pardon, and today his face appears on the 50-pound banknote. His legacy is celebrated in films, books, and memorials. But the most important truth is not only about what he achieved, it is about what he endured. Alan Turing showed us that even the brightest mind can be crushed by prejudice. His story warns us of what happens when fear and hatred rule a society. His hidden truth is that he saved the free world, and yet he was destroyed by the same freedom he had protected. Today, when we use our computers, when we send messages, when we ask if machines can think we are walking on the path, he built. His ghost lives in every device, in every algorithm, in every code. Yet behind the brilliance there remains a warning: we must never again destroy a genius simply because of who they are. His life was short, his truth was painful, but his legacy is eternal.